Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Queens Season 1, Episode 11, entitled, I'm a Slave for You. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around and keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. There's an intro to an episode of a teen pop television show, a character arriving at a posh school with unwelcoming arms. The character, Anna, waves her magic wand to freeze the potential bullies. Anna Cadabra. The scene reference is disturbed by the harsh reality of the actress being arrested, then approached by paparazzi. Does she fear the show Anna Cadabra will be canceled since she's been arrested? What does her mother think? Jill comes to the rescue. She bails her out. She wants to sign her to Nasty Girl Records. 3 days earlier, everyone notices financial subtractions from their bank accounts. They've put a lot into the label, and the launch was a success. And Lady Z's song has reached 6 million streams. While Muffin and Zadie are working on their album, Naomi wants to drop Val's album early. Val is nervous, but Eric confirms that they were able to get her a guest spot on a song with the artist's name, Resonance. It's the king of the Latin charts. Now Val is amped. It's such a compliment to be recognized as a Latin artist by another Latin artist. The plus, she can rap in Spanish. If she wins over his fans, her album is a hit. Next on the list is diversifying their roster. Someone who can sell out arenas. Touring is where the real money exists. Naomi suggests that in case they can't find an existing powerhouse star, they can find raw talent and then turn them into stars. Jill guest stars on Anna Cadabra, and while filming the lead, keeps forgetting her lines. It's obvious that something off camera is on her mind as a distraction. Her mother tells her that the lack of Adderall is pausing the show, and she must be the face of the franchise. She doesn't want to take the medicine, but the intimidating whispers from her mom force her to do so. Now it's on to the next take. Val is excited about the new track with Resonance, although there's a misunderstanding. He wants to cross over to the American charts and was under the impression Val would bring her pop style, and Val wants to get in touch with her roots and rap in Spanish. The only way to prove her skills is to get in the booth. He gives her an ultimatum: rap the verse now how he wants it, or she can bounce. Naomi listens to raw talent on SoundCloud, but it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. She even reached out to Rhapsody's team, but they didn't give her the time of day. They only want to collaborate if the queens get back together. She then gets a call from JoJo's dean to report that she hasn't been to school in over 2 months. JoJo says her love for piano was something that she was just exposed to. It's all she's ever known. Now her and her new friends have found a new love, hip-hop. JoJo wants to be a rapper. She feels she's had more exposure, and as she gets older, she's finding herself. Eric thinks that's a good thing, but Naomi wants him to take a seat to the side since he's new to this being dad thing. He takes slight offense, but steps aside quietly. Jojo wants to know why Naomi is so afraid. She picked music over her. Are you afraid I might be better than you? Naomi tells her that she won't push her buttons today. She's staying in school, and that's final. She now wants Eric to back her up, but Eric asks if his input is selective. Naomi then draws the line. As long as she lives under her roof, the decision stands. Jojo doesn't budge, and she's an adult. She can make her own decisions. Eric is adamant that they're a team, but he has his own opinions. He wants to be the best dad, and he doesn't want to be her friend. He thinks that Jojo just needs a moment to cool down for a while. They'll come back to it. They'll discuss it more. They are a team. Jill takes a visit to the actress that plays Anna and encourages a walk, some space to chill. She even has to get permission to leave her trailer. Jill is in shock that she has to get permission to leave her trailer just to come outside. The actress tells her that her mother's abrasiveness is just to protect her. The show is the network's cash cow. Several times she suggested to her mom and the show about writing and performing new songs, but they always declined. Jill understands all about an overbearing parent. It took her over 40 years to step up to her dad. She doesn't need her parents' permission to sing other songs. She's 21, and she's not Anna, she's Madison. She asked Jill, "Have you ever heard about conservatorships?" Naomi is shocked Val walked out on residence. Not only is Val not listening, but neither is JoJo. She breaks the news that JoJo wants to be a rapper, and Val doesn't see the big deal. She wants to do what her mother does. Val explains that she walked out because over and over again she didn't speak up about wanting to rap in Spanish or her new sense of style when it comes to music. And then again, she can view how someone else can view her as a sometimes Rican. She wants her solo album to be rapped in Spanish, but Naomi reminds her they have a contractual release date. Val usually raps in English, and the Spanish album would just have to wait. They need a good follow-up song so the label won't crash. She needs to make things right with Resonance. Val notices that Naomi wants everyone to be free of everyone else's expectations as long as they're a slave to hers. Jojo finally comes back to talk with Eric. She has a new passion for hip-hop, but Eric is not cool with her dropping out of school. Plus, he promised Naomi that they're a team. Jojo begs for his help to lay down a track just to verify if she has what it takes and if she's at the level that she thinks she is. She wouldn't have dropped out of school if she didn't have a passion. She's going to do hip hop regardless, but wants Eric's input because what he thinks means a lot to her. Eric agrees to help, but warns once she steps into the booth, she's no longer his daughter. She's an artist. If it's fire, the track is hers. If it's whack, he's tossing it. Jojo steps into the booth and blossoms. Her bars express her talents as a pianist and her newfound love of hip-hop and being a true artist. The ladies listen to Anna Cadabra music, and the only person that's enthusiastic is Jill. What is she, a bopper teenage wizard? Jill opens their eyes into knowing that yes, her songs are a little cheesy, but those songs are for the show. She can actually sing. They need to diversify the label. They need more traction, and she has over 11 million followers. Her fans love her. She went on tour and sold out every venue. Jill points out that she stood with Naomi in her crusade for Zadie, and this is her moment, her crusade for Madison. They can help her, and she can help them. What's the harm just to bring her in and just to see what she can do? Madison Pierce. Val stops Jill's inspiring speech to announce that her prospect just got arrested for shoplifting. Madison says that she wanted to get caught. She's not a thief. She was so desperate to get away from everything surrounding her work reality. In jail, she knew that she could at least get some sleep. And in jail, they don't make her take Adderall. Her mother monitors her actions all day to make sure that she takes it. And legally, she has to show her location at all times on her phone using a specific app. Security is in the room when she goes to the gynecologist. She'd actually hoped that while she was in that cell, maybe they'd fired her from Anna Cadabra. Trish is not her mom anymore. The only way to stop her is to stop the money train. Jill warns that to help her, she's got to get her voice heard. One, Madison needs to find out how she can become financially independent, and two, to work on the conservatorship. Jojo is so excited while listening to the rough cuts of the track. Eric wants to run it by Naomi first before introducing it to the world. He's risking a lot by going behind her back. He wants to make a deal. Jojo goes back to school tomorrow, and he'll run everything by Naomi. When he steps out to take a phone call, Jojo breaks her deal and uploads the song directly to SoundCloud. The ladies tell Jill that they're still in doubt about Madison, but Madison warns that due to the tracking on her phone, her mom will arrive soon, and she wants to talk instead of the ladies whispering behind her back. Madison breaks with her song, and Naomi backs her up with an electric guitar and harmonizing vocals. The song is vindicating of how Madison doesn't need to be treated like a child, taking risks and being creative. They love what they hear and cheer her on. She has a wonderful rock style and voice. Breaking the mood, her mom and the police show up. Jill finds it interesting that her mom claims to be so worried but didn't bail her out of jail. Jill cares about her well-being. The mom in return says, "You're fired." The network has lost an entire day of filming and Madison has obligations. The ladies agree that Madison just needed a break, and if she ran away to jail, something clearly wasn't right. Her mom tells them that they came from a trailer park. She's a single mom, and now their brand is worth over $80 million. Apparently, she's doing something right. Jill corrects her. No, Madison is worth $80 million. Trish reminds her that according to the state of California, she can have her arrested for kidnapping. Madison at least wants to say goodbye. Jill did bail her out. Her mom agrees to that and waits for her in the car. Naomi wants to know, how does this conservatorship work? Madison says that she has to prove that she has the capacity to take care of herself in her day-to-day life. It's all up to a judge unless her mom steps down. She needs her own lawyer. The one that they have was hired by her mom, and he's loyal to her. Maybe she can use her signing bonus to get a lawyer. Unfortunately, Nasty Girl Records doesn't have that type of cash. Madison says goodbye, but is deeply thankful for Jill and everything to help her create a song. Jill stops her before she leaves, and she tells her she wants to take the reins. She'll independently, aside from Nasty Girl Records, pay for Madison's lawyer. She's willing to take that risk. Val apologizes for the walkout and wants to keep things professional. She also thanks him for the opportunity. She begins doing the ad-libs in Spanish, but he wants all English. They start over. The track plays again, and she starts with Spanish anyway. Eventually, everyone starts to vibe to the song. Even after the bold move, he drops her from the song. Naomi can't understand why she just didn't go along with what he wanted for the song. But Val can't understand that if the label is equal, and if they're all set to get a vote, why can't Valeria make a decision, as she is the one who submitted majority of the money to get the label off the ground? Naomi is being very hypocritical in all of her statements that she makes. It's starting to feel like Naomi is the one that makes the moves and the decisions when it comes to the albums. There's no luck with Madison, so Naomi is back to SoundCloud. She then hears a wonderful track from a female developing MC, but Eric quietly recognizes the voice and the track. When Naomi clicks on the profile, Val and Naomi realize it's JoJo. Eric can't run from this. He needs to explain. Jill and Madison secretly meet with the lawyer to discuss details. Madison says that she did leave her phone in the trailer on set as he suggested. The lawyer needs to know as much detail as possible that Madison can give him. Trish will do whatever she can to win her arsenal. Her mom could weaponize every dollar. There's millions of dollars on the table, and she'd be surprised what people would do for money. Trish argues that with Madison's recent arrest, that's why, and just one of the reasons why Madison is unfit to do things for herself. Madison gets a moment to speak and says the conservatorship only looks out for her mother financially. Madison has been able to complete everything when it comes to the show and take care of her and the family with no help. The judge takes note that the conservatorship was granted 3 years ago when it was decided she couldn't handle affairs alone. But recently, psych vows say nothing troubling. And teenagers steal all the time, but that doesn't lead to conservatorships. Trish then has a deceitful look in her eyes, and Madison says, "Mom, no, please don't." Trish begins to tell a story about how they once had protection in their home, and she caught Madison with the weapon in her mouth. When they release for a break, Jill wants to know why she didn't tell the lawyer or her about the time where she wanted to harm herself. But Madison says that if she would have told the lawyer, they probably wouldn't have taken the case. And when she wanted to tell the therapist, her mom told her not to say anything because that may be a risk in her losing the show. Madison can't believe that the lawyer was right. Her mother told the story to win. When she found out the conservatorship was extended, she explains that she just wanted to end it all. Jill wants Madison to tell her mother how she's feeling. She needs to know that it's hurting her. Naomi reads comments on JoJo's profile and it angers her. Grown men are making comments about her daughter's body. Eric feels that her daughter came to him with passions and concerns and he wanted to help. He thought that was best in the moment. He doesn't like how when anyone else disagrees with Naomi, instead of having a healthy debate, she turns them into the enemy, and that's not the case. Naomi apologizes to JoJo about people making comments about her body on her profile. They need to stop and focus on her talent. JoJo knows about the trolls, and all that matters is that her mom thinks that she's talented. Naomi wants her to finish school. That school is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but JoJo's mind is made up. Trish explains that when her daughter said that she wanted to be this actor, she moved across the country, and with all the odds stacked against them, they made it. When Madison had that breakdown, she did everything to make sure that she could protect her. Jill says that she's not a mom, but she does understand what it feels like to feel trapped. You're holding on to her so hard, you're not protecting her, you're protecting your self-interest. If you don't let her go, you'll lose her for good. Listen to your daughter. And Jill leaves the room to allow them to talk alone. Unfortunately, the info Trish shared with the judge is too critical to lift the conservatorship. Hopefully, Madison got through to Trish. Madison arrives and she has news. She's letting her go. She wants to make music with the label if the offer still stands, and it does. Later, Madison is over an hour late, but eventually arrives. But her spirit is a little off. She didn't want to disappoint anyone. Once the word got out that her conservatorship was lifted, the offers started pouring in, and labels got into a bidding war. Universal offered $5 million up front. They want one more Anna album, but after that, she's able to do whatever she wants. She can't pass up that type of money. She apologizes to Jill, and Jill is heartbroken. She even offers to pay Jill back, but Jill says don't worry about it. And paying her back is her taking care of herself. Everyone comforts Jill that she tried, and you can't save everyone. Val says that she was the reason why the group broke up in the past, but she won't be that reason today. Val speaks with resonance. She's proud of who she is and that artists have different opinions. Her passion for rapping in Spanish is more important than being dropped from a song that could have been a hit. She wants her to see that she's sincere about rapping in Spanish. This is what she wants now. She needs that help to become the artist that she wants to be. Later, they listen to a completed track and Val singing and rapping in Spanish. And the song is wonderful. She's not on his song, but he did produce her Latin song. Her album is ready, and she wants that song to be her first single. And Eric agrees that they should roll with it. Jill wants to know what's next, and Naomi has an idea of who they should sign. Naomi takes a moment to just speak with JoJo. It's like I blinked my eyes, and now you went from a baby to a woman. I'm sorry for not listening to you and treating you like an adult. I'm learning more and more each day to do so. If you want to drop out of school, that's your decision. I can't force you to go to school. Your material on SoundCloud is very good, and it sounds better than a lot of people who have been working on it for years. But Naomi wants to give JoJo an opportunity to do both. Finish school and work on her music. JoJo admits that she does miss playing the piano and school and agrees that she wants to do both. Naomi then welcomes her to Nasty Girl Records. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So remember, you guys, Queens does not return with the next episode until February the 8th. Okay, so we got a nice little minute. You know, friends and family, you guys have a chance to share this channel in the recaps and reviews so they can binge watch because they got a little moment. I mean, this is the second time that we've taken a pause and a break in just the first season, and these extensions productions are making it feel like this is the longest season ever, and we don't have a good idea of how many episodes will be in season 1, because it's just like, man, when is the season finale happening, and how many episodes will they have? I mean, are they syndicated yet? And if they are, how are they syndicated so early? Even with in the mid-season, they did have a decline when it comes to the viewership and people actually looking at the show. The numbers did go down and then back up and then go down. So it's kind of like this hiccup. Maybe the audience is getting a little exhausted with all of the breaks, but just to help with that, have a little understanding, we have the pandemic filming parameters that they had to do that kind of like extended what they needed to do as a cast and as a production. And then we had the pause with Eve finding out that she was pregnant, having the baby, and then taking a moment to be with family and to be with her newborn baby, which is understandable. So some script changes did occur. And then we had date changes with people that were going to be featured on the show, artists, songs, them time to record, and so it was a lot. So but I do give a round of applause to the creative people behind the scenes and how they changed and adapted to everything, because I can only imagine the headache with getting everything together and all of these changes. That's a lot. We still have the mystery of JoJo's dad. We still don't know 100% if he's the dad. I know I've said that in the last review, but we still don't know where Cam is, if he's doing something. They've developed all of these other storylines and plots, but I haven't forgot about that. Many people might have forgotten about it, but it's just kind of like, Naomi did say that she wasn't 100% sure between Eric, Cam, and some potential others, because she did admit at times that when she was under the influence, she really doesn't remember details when it comes to different guys that she was with. So that's still up in the air. That mystery is still up in the air. I don't know if the writing is just saying, okay, that was a mystery and we're just going to roll with Eric being the dad, or if they're building up the crescendo into season 2 to make the viewers come for more, because we still have a lot of storylines and a lot of mysteries that are still up in the air. There's still the mystery about Bree's husband, the side chick that he had, and her being pregnant. Because remember, after she found out she was pregnant, there was a situation where she ran away. Where is she? That's what I don't know. I don't know if they just said, forget that plot, she ran away and we don't want to deal with that anymore, or if they're going to bring that back as a crescendo for season 2. Is it going to come back when Bree comes back? It's just, I don't know. That they have so many options of how they're going to move and shake with this. I'm just so curious to see how they're going to do it. So let's talk about not only the title of this episode, but something that's a very huge topic, especially in the state of California when we talk about conservatories. So let's talk about conservatories. First of all, the title, I'm a slave, slave for you, clearly, a famous line out of one of the Britney Spears songs. But Britney Spears is clearly the reference and everything that's been going on to this episode. Let's talk about this definition and what it means, how it came about, and why this is such a huge issue for those of you who are unaware. So under U.S. law, conservatorship is the appointment of a guardian or a protector by a judge to manage the financial affairs and or daily life of another person due to old age, physical or mental limitations, etc. A person under conservatorship is a conservatee, a term that can refer to an adult. With Britney, she had a public fight to free herself from her conservatorship, and it's been happening for 13 years and it's still making headlines. People are still talking about it. She had this testimony where she claimed that she had been forced to work against her will, that the conservatorship prevented her from getting married or removing her birth control. It was just a lot. There are a few documentaries on Netflix. There's some on YouTube. There's a whole lot of them. So if you're interested in deeper details, feel free to Google a few. I'm just kind of giving the cliff notes of some things. It's also the same situation with Amanda. She went through a lot of stuff. With her conservatorship was after her struggling with mental health back in 2014, and she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she was battling a drug addiction It was between her and her mom, Lynn, and then her mom got appointed as the conservator. So just some examples about what's going on and what this means. And with this script with Queens, it shines light on how sometimes when things are granted through the courts, they may not be accurate. It's a lot of deeper things that need to be discussed. And I think the main point is what is causing a lot of the stress in the first place. I mean, you have all of this pressure, like they said, in the episode, we have the #1 show and we've got to do this and we've got to do that. I mean, that just sounds terrifying to just always be A game all the time. You're connected contractually. You have these head honcho production teams, these networks that expect a lot out of the artists. And then you have to keep in mind that these were teenagers, young adults, kids. That's a lot. I mean, there's so much with the entertainment industry that needs to be reviewed, in seeing them as employees, but at the same time, they're developing young adults, they're kids. And the stress of Madison in this episode and what she went through, it was a lot. I mean, we can say that, one thing, of course it upset me because I'm like, oh man, they did all of that. And Jill did all of that, especially putting up the money for her to get a lawyer and her to be free from it. And I think why I didn't faze Jill that much in the end, because she knew that she helped somebody. The character of Jill is getting a lot of redemption and vindication with helping others because of what she's gone through, and she emotionally knows how it feels. Her helping Lauren, her helping Madison, all of these things, she has her hiccups along the way and things that she's done wrong, but we're all human. But it's showing the side of Jill and the character of Jill. This is very common within the entertainment industry. You may develop an artist, you may steer them in the right direction, and then unfortunately someone else, another label, another management team will scoop them up because of better opportunities. You've got to look at it from both sides. Madison and her mom, even though the situation was messed up, she's looking at that opportunity from that label and giving her that much money up front to do one more Anacadabra, being Anna for a little while longer, in exchange with her coming out with music that she wants to do. You got to keep in mind that Nasty Girl Records is still developing as an independent label, so they wouldn't be able to offer her what she wants, what she's demanding. It might have been a big step back for her career-wise in her eyes. I mean, I'm just looking at both sides and how, she would have viewed it and why she took the offer, because even though it's a journey that's just like, man, that's terrible. She already has the following. She already has her fans. She's already been on tour. She didn't need anybody's help with that. She's already talented. So she scooped it up. It was an opportunity. It's her decision. Those are the losses that a lot of people have. I mean, there's even, videos of, execs that passed and said no on Destiny's Child because they just didn't see certain things at that time and at that moment. I mean, it happens. That's just the industry. And we got a good example that even though they've had a lot of wins and, they're trying to help everybody, they were able to help Lady Z, but not in this instance with Madison joining their label, but they did help her in her life. It wouldn't be surprising to me if her mom and Madison helped out Nasty Girl Records in the future, because they know that they're good management. They have good intentions and true intentions with literally helping people. So I think that's a lot of foreshadowing that they'll help them a lot when it comes to word of mouth, and that they're helpful and that they're honest and they're really trying to just make good music, and that the artist has the freedom to do what they want to do. So I think it's it's bittersweet. It's situation. I know many people watch this episode like, oh, that's messed up and da. But kind of see it from both sides from a business standpoint. And nobody asked Jill to do what she did. She seeked her out. She bailed her out. She gave up her money voluntarily to get her a lawyer. She took the time in doing all of that. And if the bottom line is her helping someone and she doesn't want anything in return, then it was really a win-win. Jill honestly won for helping and being sincere, and Madison won with getting out of this bubble of just this endless confusion, sadness, depression, etc. It helped her mom realize what was going on with her daughter. So it's wins across the board. The only loss is that they weren't able to add her to the label. So, I mean, hey. So JoJo's decision to do both, it's wonderful that she didn't have to choose. A lot of people have to choose because of their status and where they are. I see what Naomi is saying. You have this once in a lifetime opportunity to do your dream, because it was your dream. It was your focus, and not everybody can get into this school. You've gone so long with being in school. You're almost done. You're almost finished. Why not just keep going, and then at the same time develop yourself as an artist? Learn both things at the same time. Yeah, you had a good track. Okay, that's great. But can you develop an album? Can you develop more than one song? Do you even have more songs written? You have to understand that too. So I get that she's saying, hey, let me just compromise and let's just see what's best all the way around. You'll never get older and look back and saying, man, I was almost done with school and I dropped out because of, I felt that I couldn't do both. So there'll be no regrets. There'll be no regrets about her developing her newfound love for music and her finishing school and her doing school. It's wins across the board. She's finishing school. She's staying focused. I mean, look at Megan Thee Stallion. She started doing music. She originally had that passion for healthcare and science, right? That bubble of learning. And it was in the back of her mind that she wanted to finish. Yes, she's a successful artist. She has a Grammy. She has hit songs. But at the same time, it was probably something in her heart that where she wanted to finish. And it was at one point in her life that she was focused on that. And her love for music took the catapult, but she finished school and she has pride with that as well. So it's kind of just showing that sometimes you can do both. And if you have the opportunity to do both, you have the financial backing to finish, then why not? It won't hurt you. It's something that you'll never have regrets about. I'm really hoping that Naomi learns to let Eric have more of his input. If this is her dad, JoJo's dad, that she's opening that door and realizing that she can't stop a dad from wanting to be a dad. She has to open that door and step back and let him state his opinion. And I like the fact that he put his foot down and saying, hey, I'm the dad. I'm not the friend. I'm the dad. And I have the right to say whatever I want to say. That's why I think it's this huge foreshadowing of this disappointment and emotional heartbreak if they do bring up that subject of, is he really her dad? We haven't had any DNA testing, have we? If they did I miss something? I'm confused. So I'm really curious how they're gonna bring Bree back off the grid. How will they write that? Will the kids accidentally spill the beans about their mom being in hiding? The kids, kids nowadays, they love social media. So will that be the, she's still with us? Like, will a picture accidentally expose their location? And fans will see them and get upset and saying, hey, she's not dead. Like, what's going on? And will that cause a lot of fans to be done with the queens because they lied? And I've said and I predicted if that happens, then they'll say, hey, she went into hiding because we were afraid. The actual shooter was, still at large and we didn't know. And she had to hide. Like, that would be, some smart writing. So the fans of the show, wouldn't get upset. I don't know. They have so many different ways to flip this and turn this. I don't know. Hopefully it'll just be this big shock. Hopefully it'll be some announcement of when the season finale is coming, because I'm so drained on trying to figure out, okay, when does it end? And then is there going to be another break? Like, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like this video, share this family-friendly channel with family and friends, and you can just talk about it. Comment, put your comments below. If the comment section is turned off, that's not something that I did. That is something new that YouTube is doing. They have this new filtration thing to disable the comments, to review, blah, 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 blah. Reset the page, reset it, come back, and let the comments load. And, go from there. In the meantime, in between time, remember, you guys, to take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you next time. And make sure you check out some of those shows in the pinned comment and also in the description area so you can binge watch a lot of different shows. And also make sure to check out the video of the new 2022 show lineup of a lot of the things that we'll be discussing and the things that are scheduled. So take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye.